Hey everyone, it's Katan. I'm the founder of BossBayBlog.com, and today I'm going live because we are here to discuss our $10 website design class available. So I am going to give everybody, well, I'll probably wait like maybe about, let's say, 2 minutes because I want to share this live on multiple platforms so that everybody can come and be a part of this conversation, learn about the benefits of joining this $10 web design class, and we'll go from there. But if you are interested and you already know about Boss Bay Blog and you just know this is something that you want to hop on, then you can just go ahead and head to our website, bossbayblog.com, and click on the events page. And that's where you're going to see this event. So just check that out there. All right, let's give me one moment. Let's get this shared so we can discuss this opportunity. In the meantime, happy Saturday. I hope everybody is doing well. I don't know why it doesn't feel like a Saturday. I want to partially say, happy Friday or something, but it doesn't feel like a Saturday. Hello, hello, welcome, happy Saturday. We're going to get started in just a moment. I'm just sharing this information across the platforms. All right, we are almost ready. Hello, hello, happy Saturday. We're going to be getting started in about 1 minute. I'm just sharing the video to a couple of platforms to make sure if anyone wants to join live, they can. Hello, how are you doing today? Okay, let's see. Good. Oh, thank you. I'm doing good. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate you for the compliment. Doing good. Just excited coming on here to talk about some resources, some small businesses. Um, I'll introduce myself briefly for anyone that doesn't already know me, just in case you are interested, but you just want to learn more about me and the brand. And we'll go from there. So the link is already attached to the video for anyone that's fast, learner or fast reviewer, and you just want the information. So you can actually click on that link and go to our events page on our website, and it's there for the $10 website. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. And feel free to let me know where you're watching from, or if you're a small business owner or a small business shopper. If you have never shopped with a small business, feel free to let me know about you. Mari, wait, Mariana. Hopefully I said your name correctly. If I didn't, just correct me. I appreciate you. Okay. So we might go ahead and try to post this on Instagram too. And then we will go straight into our conversation. Let's see what I can hand over to everyone while we are waiting. This is my website for anyone that likes to see it up front. BossBayBlog.com is where you can head to. There is a page or a button that says events, and you can click on that button and you will be able to join the events. I'll try not to talk so loud today. I have a lot of lives and events to do, but who knows? We might get a little louder as the call comes. Drink me some water. All right, Instagram. I wasn't going to post this on Instagram, but I'm going to go ahead and add our Instagram fam because I see that we are growing and I see that there are people who are wanting to watch. Okay, we'll be getting started in just a second. Thank you everyone for your patience. Okay, there we go. That was new. Instagram was giving me a little bit of a problem. Oh, Nikki. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I don't know what time that is, but I'm not sure because I'm actually doing 15 lives today and then I have another event. But I'll see. If you drop your link in the comments and I am open, I'll check it out. And even if I'm not, I'll see if I can go watch the replay. Thanks. And okay, Nikki, we're about to get started. What is your live about? Feel free to share in the comments. What do you talk about on your lives? Okay. All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about this website design class. So I already told people that kind of came in a little earlier about our website design class, just in case you wanted to skip the rundown and you just wanted the information. But basically, I have a website design class that is $10. So if you are someone that is looking to start a website, get it set up, and you want a free website where you're not having to, pay an arm and a leg to keep that going, that is an option. Let's talk about the reality of business. And so, please, I think that this is great for people who are already in business and people who aren't in business. But when it comes to getting design work done for your business, that is an extremely expensive service. Like when I say extremely expensive, it's expensive. When you're getting it done by someone that is established, has been around for a long time, that is extremely credible or knows what they're doing, it can be expensive. I'm not saying that you can't find deals out there because I've had some amazing deals in the past that expired, but they were amazing deals. So I'm not saying that you can't have some out there from people who are credible, but when it comes to websites, it's expensive. And the reason being is because there's so much work that's entailed behind designing a website. First, we have to think about the graphics. When you're hiring a graphic designer, they're creating the graphics for your website, so you're hiring them for that. Then we have to think about the intellectual property and the copyright. So when they're creating all of this content and this work, you have to pay them for that work if you're wanting to have it released to you and let it be your rightful property and not theirs anymore because they designed it. But they are going to release it to you after you pay that price to have it released to you. Now, some designers don't do that, but there are a lot of designers that do. And I'm not knocking either one of them because their price is their price and it's based at that because they have a set value. And a lot of times I've seen people who have charged extremely high prices and had extremely high credentials, but did not have the quality or the crispness of a very clean and effective design. But I've also seen people who have amazing quality, amazing credentials, have worked hard, have studied, and have beautiful design. And their price point is higher. So, okay, have a great day. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Ah, no one will be rude to you. I promise. It's a judgment-free zone. But yeah, so I understand. Back to what I was saying. But bye, Nikki. Thank you so much for joining the live. But like I was saying, guys, when you're hiring a designer to do this work, it's expensive. You got the copyright, the intellectual property that they're going to charge you to release to you. You have the actual website designing. That's where they're going and they're creating the graphics and designing your website. You have the website setup, which is sometimes where they charge you in order to release the website to you. Sometimes they do it all in one. Sometimes they charge you to release the website and all the graphics. It just depends on the designer. And there's nothing wrong with either because at the end of the day, if it's quality work, it's quality work. And that's what's most important is that you have a clean, crisp, and effective design, like I'm saying. But also, I understand that some entrepreneurs are not able to pay, $1,000 to $10,000 to have a website design. Now, do I have website design services that are priced at that? I do. Um, Anywhere from around 1,000 to about $2,000 is what a person would pay for a professional website, and that can be a landing page all the way up to a 10-page website. It really just depends. My price point is up there in the thousands to about 3,000 range, and can go all the way up to about $5,000 to $6,000 for a website design, because of the tediousness that comes with it, because of the work and the dedication that comes behind it, and because of the crisp visuals that I am able to deliver as a designer. So that's about the regular price for a website. If you're getting a website for anything less than $1,000 or less than $500, you're getting it at a steal. And when I mean a steal, I mean a steal, especially if the website comes out pretty crisp and there's no hidden fees where you're having to pay for intellectual property. You got a triple steal. So if there's anybody that you have purchased a website from, and it doesn't have to be me, but if you purchase a website from anybody and you pay less than $500, go ahead and just tell that person thank you. Even if even if you don't use it anymore, even if you're not there anymore, just send a huge thank you. If that website was effective, if it was shoppable, if it was professional, $500 is a steal. Anything less than that is a huge steal. Like I said, 1,000 and up. So with that being said, we know that there's going to be a higher price point as the quality goes up, but we also know that sometimes as entrepreneurs, we have limited funding. Happy Saturday, Nicole. And so for that reason, we're not able to pay $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 to have a website designer create a website for us, right? That's just the reality of our funding limits. And so, and let me say limits, we're just going to say our funding status at the moment. So when you realize that, you got to find some alternatives. You have options when it comes to your website design process. You can pay someone to do the website for you. You can try to get a collaboration and have someone create a free website for you. And you can also learn how to create one yourself. Now, there's pros and cons that come with all of these, okay? The cons or the pros of paying someone to do the website for you is that you are going to have them do the website for you. So they've designed it for you and then they release it to you. The cons to that is that depending on who you're working with, there may be extra charges to learn how to design the website. Oh, that's another charge that I did not add on. A lot of times after you receive a website, you have to pay a hefty fee, if you want to be trained on how to operate, use, and establish or update the website, because that's graphic design training. We're training you on how to utilize the website software. We're training you on how to add the visuals. That's extra work and training. So usually you have to pay extra to learn how to do that from someone, have someone teach you to do that. So that's the con, is that if you aren't prepared to pay that extra fee to learn, then you may struggle a little bit, right? And we'll address all of these. The next one is you have someone teach you how to do it. Now, the pros of that is that you always have the knowledge. So you write that down, you keep that information, and you can keep reutilizing it whenever you need to. The cons of that is that it's not as much delegation work happening. So you're the one that's doing it. So instead of handing it off to someone else to design it and send it back to you, you're doing the designing, you're doing the uploading, you're doing the pricing and all that stuff. And you're doing both of them. So it's like, I know what I want and I'm going to design the website. That's 2 in 1 versus I know what I want. Here's what I want. Design the website and then give it back to me. And, I can either hire a website manager, or I can just learn how to do it myself, or pay someone to teach me how to, continue operating it. But you could teach yourself how to do it. That's the other option. And then the last one that I talked about was the collaboration option. You can find a web designer and see if they will be willing to collaborate with you for a discounted price or at $0 in exchange that you do something that is of value for them. Now, there's a couple things that we have to think about with the collaboration. Number one, when you do a collaboration, it's not just about you. It is now about mutual benefit. So you have to ensure that you're offering something that is of value to another person. That's the first thing. Number two, you're going to have to take more time to understand what it is that you want, because these are already established designers that are looking for paid clients or paying clients. But if you're coming to them and you don't know what you want, you don't really have a vision, you might decrease the chance of them taking on that collaboration. I'm not saying that there won't be someone who will do it, but you might decrease the chance, because usually when a person is really serious about something, they've already taken the time to invest, to study, to have a plan and a layout for that, right? So if you come and you're like, oh, I don't know what I want, not sure, don't have any idea, and you already know that you're getting the service for free or at a highly discounted price, it can sometimes reflect from designers' perspectives, and this is me giving the insight that you're not really as serious about this project because you don't have all your information already. I've worked with people who they didn't know what they wanted, but they were coming prepared to pay to have me think for them. Um, and then I've had people who they said they wanted something and then they didn't really actually prep and know what they wanted. And it's okay to be that client, but when you're working at a highly discounted price or with a collaborator, it's important that you understand that there's going to be a I need to meet you in the middle type of thing. Um, Depending on what it is, because if the discounted price comes with everything, then don't worry about that. You exclude yourself from that. But if the discounted price means that you're going to be getting certain parts of that service and you're probably not getting the full service because of it requiring labor, or contracting that would not be afforded based off of the funding that you're providing, then yes, you're going to have a little bit more established information on what it is that you're wanting, or even just your vision, who you are, what you want people to feel, how you want, what impact you want to leave with people with every conversation that you have, things like that. So those are the things that we have to really consider when you're doing a collaboration or you're looking for like a highly discounted service, because like we've said in the past, everything is not going to be good. Kind of how, entrepreneurs say all money isn't good money. And there's truth to that. I've experienced that. But on the shopper side of things, cheap isn't always the best option. Cheap can be great. It can be affordable. It can be convenient, but isn't always the best option for your preference. If you have a preference of certain things that you're wanting, you're going to have to see if that discounted price covers those things. And if it doesn't, you're going to have to either come out of pocket or you're going to have to accept that it doesn't come with that because the funding that you're providing is limited. And that's the reality behind design work. So a lot of people wonder, like, why is it so high? Why is it this? People have to pay people to do these things. And if they're not paying them, they're doing it themselves. If they're doing it themselves, it increases the rate of the production or decreases the rate of the production. There's a lot that goes behind it. So I say all of that to give you a solution. The first solution is the $10 website design class. It's available. You can go and purchase. We're going to try to do 50 to 100 people for the first class. Just going to test it out and see how it goes. If it feels like it's too high, we'll decrease it and we'll split the classes. But that's what we're doing. It's $10. It's a steal. It's a steal to learn how to design your own website from a human interaction. Nothing wrong with AI. Shout out to the AI people. But a human interaction, it's a huge value. I'm going to go into my credentials, and I'm also going to go into another solution that I talked about earlier, which was usually when you purchase a website, there's a fee that comes with buying the website design service. There's a fee that comes with having the website released to you. And if you're wanting training on how to learn how to operate it yourself so you don't have to hire a manager or a website designer or purchase management services, there is another fee that comes with that. That's usually, or let me not say usually, but that is very common in the design realm because everything that you're requesting is a service. To have someone sit and teach you how to do it, that takes time. So I'm now training you on how to utilize this and operate it because you are not up to date on it. So sometimes designers will have that fee already placed in there, and it is not optional for you to pick and choose what you want. So if you don't want the website training because you're willing to figure it out on your own or you have some tech skills, it's not an option for you to say, I don't want the website training. I just want the website design. Some designers already have the price point in there. Some will tell you and some may not, but it's already in there and that's their price. So another solution that I have is that when you go and purchase a website on my website, there is actually an option on NBC.click. There's an option for you to select the website design and select unlimited website training for 3 months straight. And you can choose both of those at the same time. Of course, it will add on a fee to the thing because you're adding on a service, but it is an option if you're wanting it. And if you don't want it and you just want the website design, you can just use the website design. And then a beautiful thing is that all of my services usually come with my branding services usually come with a branding consultation or a business performance consultation. So let's say that you have that scheduled, but you decide I don't want to use it for business performance. I just want to use it for you to teach me how to do this website. Well, then you can take that 1 hour slot and we can use it to walk through the website instead. There's a flexibility that's provided there. So if that's something you're interested in, you can check out my other website, or you could just text website, hello, thank you. Or you could just text website to 833 705 4352. Ooh, gotta get used to that. But yes, you could text website there and then you can receive an inquiry or you can receive something based off of where you're at. Shout out to Nicole. Thank you for joining. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Charlie. I'm going to go ahead and pin our sponsor to the top of the chat. We have two sponsors in the chat right now. So I'm going to start off with Nicole since she joined on. I saw her thing first. So this is JC Fashion Finds Boutique, a style that fits your everyday and your standout moments. Use the QR code to go directly to their website, follow them on Instagram and Facebook, and learn all about the programs that they put in place for women who are in need when it comes to professional apparel so they can get through their day to day. And then you can also go shop with them or just join their style community. So I'll leave that on there for about 60 seconds, and then I'll give everybody the opportunity to learn about our second sponsor. How's everybody doing today? How's your Saturday going? Let me check our Instagram fam. Oh, I'm glad I checked them because we need to get them on the live. Hello, Instagram. Join on in, Instagram. Let's get it. Okay, everyone. So now we are moving on to our next sponsor, that is Charlie Shops, deals and custom gift baskets. So, I have a comment covering the screen. So you're going to text order to, text to order 757-842-0556. Charlie Shops if you want deals and custom gift baskets for holidays, birthdays, parties, and couples. Okay. Now let me take this off the screen and let's get back into this conversation. Okay. So like I was saying, there are options. Now, I have another option, and that is the one that we are discussing today. The $10 website design class available at a limited quantity. So this website design class provides an affordable option, extremely affordable option for you to come and have insight on how to design and set up your own website, training on how to, navigate the back of office on the website, different options on where you can set up your website, like different domain options and the pros and cons of each domain option, feedback that I've received from clients, from non-clients about their experience with different domains, so that you can take that and make an educated decision on what you feel like might be the best option, or just go and research more, but keep those things in mind. You will also receive insight on graphics, how to create clean and crisp visuals. The concepts that I'll be sharing are concepts that I know graphic designers with over 20 plus years have learned in college. So you're getting a fast forwarded experience where you're able to learn all about, these design concepts. Hey, thanks for joining. Happy Saturday. I'm just talking about my $10 website design class. How are you doing today? You're welcome, Charlie. Thank you. I appreciate you. So, you're able to get assistance. You're able to get that. Hello. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Come on in. Welcome. Talking about my design class. So, like I was saying, you're able to get assistance and you're able to learn all about, how to start. Oh, hello. Thanks for joining. Welcome back. Happy Saturday. How are you doing today? Good. I'm glad you're doing good. You're welcome, Nicole. Of course. Thank you so much. So, thank you so much, everyone, for your support and thanks for joining us today. All right. I'm pulling up my actual flyer because when it comes to these courses and stuff, I got to make sure I'm giving y'all the exact information. And don't worry, guys, even though I am going to be ending the live soon, I do have quite a few lives to go over. We'll be talking about this website design first, but then I got a couple of different topics because I've had entrepreneurs requesting feedback. I've had entrepreneurs and shoppers providing feedback on my feedback forms. And I'm here to talk about a few different things and that are kind of a mixture of my experience as well as other experiences that I'm witnessing or that I'm hearing about. So let's go to, when you go to bossbabeblog.com and you scroll down, you're going to see this page that says shop, events, and story. You're going to click on events, and then it's going to take you to this that says attend events. And there's going to be this big, beautiful, juicy flyer that says $10 website design class. So this is a 30-minute design class. However, if you decide to go and tag, for right now, this is the rule. It won't be that forever. But for now, if you come to the room and the class ends at 30 minutes, if we get people who will go and share, anyone share the take a picture of the class and share it on Instagram and tag Boss Babe Blog, then we will extend the class for 30 more minutes to answer questions, to provide more insight, to provide bonus tips. But 30 minutes is really all you'll need for me to deliver this information to you. So in this 30-minute website design class, it's going to teach you about platform options to design a free website, how to create crisp, clean visuals to elevate your website's appearance, how to use or promote a free website domain, and what you should invest in down the line. On top of that, you will be receiving extra insight from graphic designers with 20 plus years experience, from my own experience and studies on how you can create crisp, clean visuals. So, like I said earlier, I was going to introduce myself and just give a little bit of insight on my experience. So, my name is Katan Paul. I'm the founder of BossBabeBlog.com. As of now, today, I am a brand elevation specialist. I'm a brand promotion specialist, and I'm a small business directory owner, 4-time small business owner. I've been selling since I was about 11 or 12, very young, because my mother started me off very young. So I started, that process, putting myself out there at a very young age. It wasn't, well, in my mind, it wasn't optional. And I'm glad that I experienced that, because it showed me that when you push yourself, you get to see just how much you're capable of achieving. So started off very young. At the age of 16, I opened my own boutique to sell art, bows, and things like that to family, friends, and people who just love art. At the age of 18, I went into retail, continued to do my art, my love for art and stuff, but I went into retail so that I could make that extra income and pay for that college education. Um, and at the age of 18, I also, I think, received my first promotion in retail because of my work ethic. So anyone that knows me one-on-one knows how much I work, how hard I work, and how quality is extremely important. So for me, I've always been focused on elevating, and that's why I put the role business elevation specialist. But I've been in sales for a very long time. At the age of 21, I actually earned my first store, so my first brick and mortar location, through a very popular retail brand. From that point, I continued to grow my business, expand, work with multiple retail brands with different layouts. I've worked in brands that were, you know, expected to do 3.5 billion plus in a year, and I've worked with brands that were expected to do significantly less in a year. And so I have experience, brick and mortar experience, management experience, team and operations experience, sales experience. um, let's see what else, solution oriented mindset experience, and solution, problem solving experience as well. Talent acquisition, website design, these are things that came later, but that brick and mortar aspect of it, I've had years and years of experience in that, including the sales as well. So upon doing all of that, I got to this place where I started, my business was performing so well, my store location, that I started training other people, and I was known for training people in the district. So people would either come to my location, or I would go to other locations and I would clean up the store, train people, get them promoted, get that store making more money. And that's what I did in my retail journey. Now, I left retail probably a little bit after COVID, and my experience leaving wasn't the best. And I ended up deciding that I was going to go ahead and focus on my business, right? So, in the process of doing that, I created a few businesses. The first business was an apparel boutique. So it's called Anotherness Boutique. And we do have, like, the dress that I'm wearing is from Anotherness Boutique, but we also have subscription options available for people that just want it subscribed and sent to them. So I'm saying all this to say that in the process of continuing this business, entrepreneurship, I designed my own websites, ran my own social media pages, marketed my own brands, attracted my own, not attacked, attracted my own leads, and created that profit for my business. On top of doing that, I also expanded my brand and created a self-care brand. And further going into what my clients were saying they were interested in, I realized that self investment wasn't just about self care for some people. Self investment was about them having their own business and having their own dreams. So I expanded that brand. And that's where me doing all of these services that I did for myself, that I studied for years for myself, transitioned into, me doing it for other people to help them with starting their brand, to support other entrepreneurs. So I've been doing that for probably about 4 to 5 years, a little bit over that, but I've been selling since the age of, like I said, 11, 12. And I've been a business manager since the age of 21. But I became a manager, just a manager in general, since the age of 18. And I'm 29 now. So it's been a lot of achievements and accomplishments from, that grit that I work very hard to produce and showcase everywhere that I went, regardless of if I was staying there long term or temporary. And so, with all of this experience, I've been able to take insight from graphic designers. I've been able to study my own graphic designing craft, get feedback and critiques from, graphic designers that have been in the industry for 20 plus years. And it's been a wonderful journey. But with that being said, I've created like hundreds of websites for different industries. And I've been doing this for a long time. So there's a lot of things that I've learned over the years that have helped me to create an effective website through studying, through critiquing, through doing that research, and through executing. And so, and also, tracking the results. So I'm saying all this to say that this can be a very expensive road, because when you're teaching yourself and you're not paying anyone to do it, it takes time. It takes time, studying, and dedication. When you're having someone teach you, they're going to need to pay you. And I mean, you have to pay them unless they're doing it for free, which everybody can't do services for free. But if they are, that's wonderful. But you want to make sure it's still of quality. You're not accepting it just because it's free. Make sure it's what you want and what you need. Okay. Um, but with that being said, you normally are going to need to pay people for that kind of a service, and paying them to teach you how to do it. You now learn how to do it. You skip all of those years of research and trial and error and exploring. However, you still need to actually do it, like design the website, right? Um, and so that's where this class comes into play, where yes, you can pay someone to teach you how to do it, but you don't have to, break the bank doing that. And the reason why I'm able to provide it at this extremely affordable price is simply due to the fact that it's able to be provided at $10. I mean, it's going to be a group session. So because it's a group session, I can give this insight, answer these questions for everyone all at once in a setting that I have intentionally set down and scheduled to do once a month. Right now, it may not stay for once a month. It's a test, but our first one is coming up on April 4th, which is Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Time. So it's 9 a.m. Saturday morning Central Time. And the reason why it's a.m. is because I have 2, 3, 4 events that day. So this will be in the morning time. But if you are someone that is needing help with having your website designed and you don't have that heavy funding to go spend $1,000 plus for a professional website, because that is how much they normally cost, on average, you can find some that are cheaper. But you really have to see what that comes with and if it matches your preferences and expectations, because sometimes we have preferences and expectations, but our funding doesn't match those preferences and expectations. That's not always, but sometimes. So you have to see if it matches your preferences. And if it does, you purchase those services that are a little bit cheaper. But if it doesn't, you go ahead and invest in the full price or a higher price point. Normally, like I said, it's going to be around 500, 1,000. That's the lower end. 1,000 and up is a common price point for professional websites from graphic designers. And that's even if, I mean, I gotta say it, but that's even if they don't necessarily have that crispness. They still will charge that higher price point because they have the experience, or they've been doing graphic design for a while, or they went to college. Like I said, it's about looking at their results. What kind of results have they been able to deliver? Looking at what you're wanting and what your preferences are, and explaining that these are your specific preferences. And then once you explain that, going from there. And if it makes sense for you, you purchase it. If it doesn't, you go find somebody else. But this is an option where you're paying $10 and you can come and meet. It's a 30-minute class, so it doesn't require you to stay for the entire time. And everything that I just mentioned, we will go over in this class. So just a brief recap, and we'll come back. We said, platform options to design a free website, how to create a crisp, clean visual to elevate your website's appearance, how to promote a free domain, and then how to use or promote a free domain, and then what you should invest in down the line when you are getting your website done. So these are all the things that come with that, and it is $10. $10. It's going to cost you a lot more on average to learn how to design or open or set up a website. And in this class, we're giving you the easiest way, the quickest, one of the quickest effective ways, because there's many ways to do things. Don't ever let anybody tell you in the design realm or in any realm that there's not many ways to do a lot of stuff. There's some things that this is the way we do it, but there's a lot of things that you might want this, but you don't have to necessarily go down that route. You have options. So if you choose to go down one route, that's your choice, but there's other options. So this is just one option on how you can start your website up quickly and effectively. Learn how to create visuals. It's very good. It's beginner friendly. Even if you're not a beginner and you've been in the website design industry for about 1, 2, 3, 4 years, which I say like the first 1 to 2 years, it's still kind of like, getting your feet wet with certain things, depending on where you're starting from. But you can still take some insight from this class. You'll be able to network with other professionals in this class. You'll be able to talk about your own experience in the chat as I'm going through the class. And then after that, we have 30 more minutes where people are able to ask questions in the chat. Also raise your hand if you want to be brought on to ask questions. But that's only if you decide that you want to be a part of the Instagram promo. So what that is you take a picture of the class and then you tag everybody on Instagram. So if that's something that you think you might be interested in, and you want that extra 30 minutes, that's an option. But if you're not interested in that, you can just join for the first 30 minutes of the class and you can receive everything that I just listed with some more tips, perks, insight. And I'm going to weigh out the pros and cons. I'm going to give you different platforms. I'm going to tell you about my experience with each of those platforms as a graphic designer. But I'm also going to give you some of my clients' experiences with different platforms that they've come to me and said, yep, I like this, or nope, I don't like it. And sometimes our preferences vary. So something that they enjoy and love might not be something that I enjoy and love or feel like is right for me. However, it doesn't mean that it might not be beneficial to somebody else as well. So for that reason, I'm going to weigh out the pros and cons, talk a little bit more about that, and then I'm going to teach you how you can create your own free website and utilize that free website to help you with growing your business, increasing your sales without breaking the bank. Because like I said, a website is going to cost you anywhere from $1,000 and up. So if you ever got a website for less than that and the website is professional and looks good, you need to go thank that designer, because that is a tedious and very time consuming and attention requiring task. It's not to say that you can't do it, because you can put your mind, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. And people can teach you how to do it yourself. But as a designer, as a provider, as a service provider, as someone who does, creating and stuff, that time is something, it's like one of the most expensive things. And when you're creating art, websites, flyers, content, that is time that comes from that. So thank your designer if you paid less than $1,000. But normally it's going to be pretty expensive for a professional website. And this website, a design class, is going to give you that solution and help you meet in the middle of, hey, maybe I can't afford to pay $1,000, $2,000 for a website, or 800, or maybe I can't even afford to pay $500 for a website right now. But it doesn't mean that I can't have a professional established website, something that's clear, crisp, and shows the target audience how I can be of service. It doesn't mean that I can't have that. So this website design class is one of the ways that you can achieve that. Like I said before, even though people will try to make you feel like there's one way of doing something and there's only one way of operating, the reality is that there are many ways of operating. So don't feed into that. Don't let people pressure you. Yes, it is important to have an established professional website if you would like to increase your return on investment, and if you would like to increase the chance of converting someone from a viewer into a shopper. It is important. I would recommend it as a designer and as a business owner. I've seen the difference between the ability for me to gain sales and leads from an effective website that is clear, crisp, professional, and established, and a website that's just a little bit too busy or a little bit, jumbled for the audience to perceive what needs to be done. So I have experienced it. I've seen it from my clients, and I'm sharing that. But I'm also sharing that it doesn't mean you can't be successful and you can't grow if you were to design the website yourself until you're able to gain enough sales to have the funding to go and purchase a higher price pointed website where you're spending $1,000 to $5,000, $10,000 with a professional that is able to deliver a quality that matches that level of funding that you're able to provide for the project. So that's just me giving that reminder of, hey, there are other options out there. There are pros and cons of every option that you choose. It does require a service. It does require work. So there are certain times when you are going to pay that. And it's a little bit of insight for anyone that's new to this realm, because sometimes when you're new to something, you don't know about it. And so you assume like, hey, this doesn't make sense. But in reality, that is the norm for it because there's a reason behind it. Now, not always. Sometimes things just don't make sense. But in website design, this is a very expensive service. And So because it's expensive, usually you're going to pay for the website. You're going to pay for the intellectual property being released to you. You're going to pay for training on how to utilize the website. And you're going to spend well over $1,000+ on doing that. So anything less than that is an absolute steal. Steal. Okay. This class allows you to learn how to do it yourself, and it gives you insight on how to operate from behind the scenes. But at the same breath, it still gives you flexibility to where if you decide down the line you want to purchase one, you can, but you have this information as well. It's not for you to take and then feel like now that means that, you are you're going to be critiquing every single graphic designer because it's a 30-minute website. I mean, a 30-minute class. It is going to give you a lot of insight, but 30 minutes versus 300 hours or 30 years is a huge difference. So it will take time for you to be able to apply and truly understand like the best way to utilize some of these visual concepts and tools and tips. But at least you'll know how to do it for yourself. At least you'll have a better understanding of an elevated website. At least you'll know where to go and establish one for free until you have the funding to do that. And at least you'll have a clear concept on how you're going to create it instead of having a creative block or a writer's block because you don't know where to do, what to start, how to come across with certain things. At least you'll understand the perception that the audience has when they scroll across certain websites with certain styles and fonts and things like that. So we'll get into some of those tips in this 30 minutes. Like I said, I'm going to give it to you straight back to back. And then after that, if you want to stay for 30 minutes after the class, you just tag us on Instagram, and then you'll be able to stay later, and we'll do more work, more conversations about it. I hope that everyone has had the opportunity to go to our website, take advantage of this amazing opportunity. And in the meantime, I am going to go ahead and give you a preview of what we're going to be discussing next. So give me 1 second. I posted it on my Facebook. So if you're on my Facebook or my Instagram, then you can find it there. But let's see. Hold on. When I'm on live, sometimes it takes a little while for it to load. Okay. So we are talking about the $10 website design class. Small business owners, what to do before spending another dollar on ads. That is the next conversation we're about to have in our next live. So if you're interested, stay tuned. I'll be back in about 1 to 5 minutes. Thanks so much for watching, and go take advantage of our $10 website design class if you want to learn how to design a free website, how to establish one, when you want to start investing in that website and how, depending on your funding, and also design tips that you can help you to elevate your presentation and have a more established website and increase the chance of gaining leads or people that are attracted to what it is you have to offer. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you in about 5 minutes if you're coming back. Bye-bye.